But how do you think B and C get the updates when it is supposed to be the client initiating the connection? Because the update has already happened here, right? But the server, as a server, should not actively push that update to B and C. Yep.
B and C actively ask for new updates.
Exactly. Computer B and computer C, as Facebook clients, it will basically poll, P-O-L-L, poll the server, at certain intervals, 30 seconds, every 30 seconds, every minute, whatever. Is that configurable? When you use Facebook, can you control how often it asks the server for updates? No? It should be configurable because, okay. You can also manually, trigger the update too. I know you can do that. You can just refresh the screen and it will automatically update not automatically, but in that case it's manually, triggered. So for some people who cannot wait, for updates from their friends, they just sit in front of a computer and do nothing except, update, right? But that's exactly what's happening. Okay, it is still a strict client to server connection, except in this case, computer B and computer C will ask the server and say, do I have any updates from my friends? Okay, it will do it, if you leave it alone, it will do it maybe every 30 seconds, every 2 minutes or so. But you can also manually trigger it and ask, okay, I want some updates right now. Okay? What about Facebook? What about Facebook? There's a movie coming out, okay? Social networking, that's the new movie, which is supposedly based on the real story of Facebook, and as a result, it is unauthorized. Yeah, because we dig up all the dirt that people do not want to know about, right? So that's one thing. What is the second thing about Facebook? Do you guys remember all the privacy stuff? There was a big thing a while back. Okay, what was the result of that big storm of privacy? Right. Well, Facebook eventually backed down and basically say that we don't need as much private information and we won't disclose as much information to other people anymore. But as a result of that, someone started a project to basically say we don't need Facebook anymore. We don't want Facebook anymore. So somebody, let me see if I can find that. No. Okay. There we go. So someone, who's fed enough about the whole situation, finally decided and say, I want to replace Facebook. Okay? So this person or this group of people, which originally did not really have a lot of traction, in other words, other people look at these people and go, are you crazy? You want to challenge, Facebook? But eventually they got enough funding. Okay, some other people were funding these developers to write an application to replace Facebook. Now, note what I just said. They're writing an application to replace Facebook. They're not making a website to replace Facebook. In other words, they are not only giving people an alternative way to socially connect to other people online, they're changing the topology completely. They're changing the way things operate. In other words, instead of doing a centralized client to server type of connection, this new way is more like torrent. It is peer-to-peer. There's no centralized server except maybe for a listing device so that people can tell who is online and who is not online and stuff like that. But other than that, when you have an update, your friends actually go to your computer directly to ask for updates. There's no centralized server to keep track of all that stuff. Okay? So this is something that you might want to keep an eye on, especially if you use Facebook a lot and like Facebook a lot, but do not like the privacy policy of Facebook. Because with this, you are the one in control of your own computer. And as a result, if you don't want to disclose this kind of information, you can just say, that's not going to be disclosed. you're no longer at the mercy of a centralized website that already has your information, and they can do anything they want with that information. Okay? And of course, soon enough, your iPhones will not be able to run this app because, because Apple does not like the idea of doing this. But this is coming, okay? I think, they will probably have an iPhone and Android app doing this thing, because it makes sense to put, this type of app on a cell phone instead of, just on, regular stationary computers. Okay, well, that's the end of today's class. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Remember to study chapters 3, 4, and 5. If you have questions, bring it on Tuesday. I guess it's just the name of the project. I do not know whether it has any specific meaning other than that. Oh, here we go. It actually does have a meaning on its own. A scattering of seeds. Like that. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're distributing your information, using this social network thing, and